Whether you're selling a product or delivering a service, I know that you have a great product and you're delivering great service. How do I know this? I know this because you're listening to this podcast and you are now struggling with marketing strategy. You want to take your business to the next level and you're trying to figure out how to do that. And you inherently understand that without doing marketing, you're not going to be able to do that. So in this podcast, I'm going to talk about marketing strategy, the difference between strategy and tactics, and how you can build a solid marketing strategy. Basically, a marketing strategy is a deep understanding of your target market, your competition, your strengths and weaknesses. It's a much wholesome, holistic, like overarching view of your business and all that kind of stuff. Whereas a tactic is something that, or tactics is something that comes into play after you have a solid marketing strategy in place, right? Tactics are short-term. They're short-term actions that you can take to execute on your marketing strategy. They can help you with immediate results. They're designed to generate leads, generate sales, and things like that. But at the end of the day, in order to really grow your business and to take it to the next level with the resources that you have, you need to have a solid marketing strategy. And in this podcast, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the difference between strategy and tactics and how a well-crafted strategy can help your company increase your brand awareness. It could help you increase your lead flow, lead volume. It can help you build better relationships with your customers. It can help you stay ahead of the competition, and it can help you increase your market share. So tune in and let's learn about marketing strategy, marketing tactics, and how you can build a solid marketing strategy to take your business to the next level of growth. Welcome to the latest episode of Corner Your Market. I'm your host, Sailesh Kimide. In this podcast, I talk about all things digital marketing, from website design and development to SEO and PPC, as well as paid advertising, email marketing, social media, and anything in between. If you're a small business owner, a marketing manager in a company, or an entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. So tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. You'll gain some practical insights, new strategies, tactics, and tools that will help you grow your business. To subscribe, go to corneryourmarketpodcast.com and select the podcast app of your choice. Then you can hit subscribe within those apps. That again is corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Also, don't forget to like and share our individual episodes. You can also leave a review in the app once you've listened to one of our episodes. In this episode, I want to talk about marketing strategy and marketing tactics. There's a big difference between the two, and people use them interchangeably, and there's good reason for why people use them interchangeably, but there's some distinct differences between them. Strategy is not tactics, and tactics is not strategy. So we do want to talk about that a little bit, but also overarchingly, why do we want to talk about it? We want to talk about it because marketing is an important part of your business's growth. Without marketing, your business is not going to grow. Let's just be honest about it, because you could have a great product, but if you don't do the marketing right, then you're not going to really hit the market and get the sales that you need. Basically, sales doesn't happen without marketing. So today I want to start by talking about this article from the Harvard Business Review that was published in October of 2010. It's a little dated. It's been about 13 years since this article was written. But it's written by, the article's name is Unleashing the Power of Marketing. I found this when I was doing some research on this topic. It's written by Beth Comstock, Ranjay Gulati, and Stephen Liguori, and very esteemed individuals. Beth and Stephen, when this article was written, were high-level executives at GE, and Ranjay, at least at the time, was a professor of Harvard. I didn't check to see if he still is a professor at Harvard. But anyway, it's a very interesting article to read. It talks about how powerful marketing can be, how in today's day and age, and that's back in 2010, it's even more true now in 2023, you can't have a successful business without a strong marketing strategy and plan. So I'll drop the link to this article in the show notes, but I did want to read the summary because it is very interesting to go over. The summary basically is until a few years ago, this is from the paper, until a few years ago, General Electric believed that its products could virtually market themselves. Marketers had been limited to passing information along to the people centrally responsible for innovation, typically in R&D or engineering, without the result that brilliant minds were languishing in dead-end jobs. And when it came to discussions about corporate strategy, marketing wasn't at the table. That's very astounding that a company as successful as GE this is 10 years ago from when this article was written, so it would have been about the year 2000. Actually, during Jack Welch's, I would think, tenure. So they didn't really place a high value on marketing, but as GE's businesses matured, the company realized that it could no longer win simply by launching increasingly sophisticated technologies or taking existing technologies to new markets. To succeed, GE would need a marketing engine that could collaborate directly with customers and lead to new markets, with standards as rigorous as those for functions such as finance and human resources. So basically marketing at the same level as finance and human resources. Interesting that they put marketing even below human resources. Not that I have anything against human resources, but experience with HR isn't always the most entertaining or exciting. But anyway, so CEO Jeff Immelt, the one that took over from Jack Welch, I believe, issued a mandate that marketing should be a vital operating function across GE and an engine for organic growth. So this article goes on and talks about the importance of marketing, defines marketing, and all that kind of stuff. So in a way, I'm kind of going to piggyback on this article a little bit, but because this article basically argues that marketing is essential for businesses to succeed, and that marketing is not just about advertising and promotion. It's about understanding the market and developing products and services that meet the needs of customers. It is also about communicating the value of those products and services to customers and building relationships with them. That's my summary. So basically in this podcast, I want to answer the question, how do you do that? How do you develop this marketing in your business? Where do you start? And all that kind of stuff. So there's a couple of things here that I'm going to discuss in today's episode. I'm going to talk about the difference between marketing strategy and tactics, how to build and as part of that, how to build a marketing strategy. I'd like to define these terms for you so that there's no confusion. Also, I want to discuss the benefits of having a marketing strategy for your business. If it's not already intuitively obvious to you, at least this will help you understand that a little bit more. And then discuss basic steps of creating a marketing strategy, because that could be a little bit of a roadblock for folks, at least for businesses that I've worked with. Creating a marketing strategy can be a little bit challenging if your expertise as a founder or somebody in the business is more on the business side or the research side or technology side. Then marketing can be challenging for you. And then also, it's always fun to go over some great examples that I found online of companies that made it big using marketing. Now, I don't have all the details of what they did, but because they're not going to make that necessarily known. But at least we can, talk about a couple of marketing companies that have done really well, a couple of companies that have done really well with the marketing that they did. So anyway, let's get started. I've probably already made this point, and if I haven't already made that point, marketing is important. Marketing is an essential part for every business to achieve the goals that you have for growing your customer base, increasing market penetration, increasing revenue, becoming more profitable. Marketing is very important, and so let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you can, market your business. So in order to really market your business, you're going to need to think about marketing strategy and marketing tactics. And a lot of times people will start with tactics. They'll say, oh, we should go and do a PR campaign, or, oh, we should, offer this discount, or, oh, we should, start a website. Those are all great tactics. But to be honest with you, if you don't have a marketing strategy, those tactics could be a waste of time, and they may not get you where you need to be, or you may not be able to use those tactics effectively to reach your marketing strategy. So the purpose of a marketing strategy is to create a sustainable competitive advantage that can help your company achieve its objectives and grow its market share. And marketing strategy basically involves several components, which also includes market research, segmentation, targeting, positioning, and branding. I know that all sounds very complicated, but it really isn't. Market research at the end of the day is the process of just gathering and analyzing information about the target audience, your competitors, and industry trends. If you're going to start a business or you're going to run a business, you're going to need to have that information anyway. You're going to need to know what kind of people, what kind of users, what kind of subscribers use your service or your product. You're going to come across people that are your competitors. You're going to know a little bit about them, right? So, and then you're also going to have some trends. Are people buying this? Are they not buying it? Are they going to want to buy this? Things like that. So you're going to need to really at the end of the day, document that kind of information and basically classify it under market research. And then there's segmentation. It is really about dividing your market into smaller groups of consumers who share similar characteristics. So for instance, Apple or some of these big companies will have business and consumer segments, entertainment and, research or whatever it is, because the products that they produce could be used differently the same product could be used differently by different people, right? You have people that use the iPhone for just, personal photography, but the iPhone, if you use it well with the right equipment and everything like that, can also be used for high-end photography. So you really need to segment your audience, whatever kind of business you have, so you have a better understanding of who these people are and the services that you could reach them with. And then there's targeting. Targeting is the process of selecting the most effective or most attractive market segments and developing a marketing mix tailored to their needs. So once you've done the segmentation, you identify the ones that you are really going to go after, the ones that you feel like are the most profitable, the most effective, the ones that are most likely to use your product, and the one where you have the most competitive advantage. And then positioning is where you create a unique, image for your brand in the minds of the consumer, right? It's kind of like I was going to buy a water bottle for my daughter, and you have two identical steel water bottles, and my daughter goes for the one that is more expensive, and just because of the brand, just because of the name, they are literally the same. I mean, I guarantee you that these water bottle manufacturers probably source from the same company in China or wherever they get it from. They just slap on their brand on the front, and one can charge $20 more than the other. So that's positioning. That's also branding, right? So that's the other component of marketing strategy is branding. So the official definition of marketing strategy then is the overall plan for how a company will reach its target market and achieve its marketing goals. It should include decisions about which products or services to offer, how to price them, how to promote them, and how to distribute them. So that's the marketing strategy. So that's the official definition that I've come up with. Now, let me give you an example, right? I like to use Apple because everybody in marketing talks about Apple. Everybody knows Apple. Everybody knows how successful they've been. And one of the reasons why they've been so successful is because of their marketing. So it's not difficult to not talk about Apple. Apple's marketing strategy is basically focused on creating innovative products that appeal to tech-savvy consumers, or, just consumers in general at this point, because most people are tech-savvy these days. The company's marketing research has shown that its target audience is highly interested in cutting-edge technology and design. Those are the guys that will line up to buy the next iPhone. Apple uses market segmentation to divide its target audience into several groups, such as professionals, students, and creatives, because all of those people use Apple products. And the company's marketing mix includes a combination of product, price, promotion, and place strategies tailored to each segment. So product, price, promotion, and place. Those are the 4 P's of marketing. And then Apple's brand identity is built around its core values of simplicity, elegance, and innovation, right? So that's their marketing strategy. That's what they publish as being their marketing strategy. So I think you should have something similar for your company. You should talk about what is your product, almost like a mission statement for your marketing. Who is your audience? What are you going to do for them? What are the benefits you're bringing? How and why are you priced the way you're priced? How are you going to make your products available, your service available to your audience? That should all be included in your marketing strategy. Now, marketing tactics is a little different. Marketing tactics tend to be short-term actions that a company takes to execute its marketing strategy, right? So you got the strategy, big picture stuff. These are the above goals. These are the things we're going to do. This is the price. This is how we're going to approach this market. This is our business model almost. But marketing tactics are specific tools and techniques used to reach the target audience and achieve the desired marketing objective. So people still divide marketing tactics into offline and online, but in my book, it's kind of at this point merged. Granted, email news, like a direct mail and public relations and event marketing are offline, but they could be paired with online, digital support. It doesn't have to be strictly offline. But marketing tactics are typically more focused and specific than marketing strategies. They're designed to achieve immediate results and generate leads or sales, right? That's a tactic. Hey, we're down on leads this week. Let's run a PPC campaign over the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 4 months to boost our leads. That's a marketing tactic, right? Marketing tactics are not as effective if they're not aligned with a broader marketing strategy. Now, if you're short on leads, right, but your pricing and the way your brand is positioned is not solid and straightforward and strategic, no matter how many PPC campaigns you run, the leads that you get may not be able to support your business growth. So that's an important thing to keep in mind is that tactics are effective as long as they are in alignment with the marketing strategy that you have in place. So marketing tactics should always support the overall marketing goals and reflect the brand identity. If you're not in the business of giving discounts and coupons, and that's not part of your marketing strategy, don't all of a sudden start offering that just because you have a bad month. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that. So the official definition of marketing tactics is a specific set of actions that a company takes to execute its marketing strategy. These include things like creating marketing campaigns, running advertising, and developing sales and promotions. Another big company that has excelled in marketing is Nike. So the Just Do It campaign, right? That's, if you really think about it, that flows from its strategy. It's a tactic. The tagline itself, they've used that. They have executed very well on it. Their social media presence supports it to the point where Just Do It has become like a lexicon or a phrase that people use and they immediately think of Nike. So that's, I guess, a loose example of a marketing tactic. So if you haven't already arrived at a difference between marketing strategy and marketing tactics, the primary difference between marketing strategy and marketing tactics is the scope and duration of their impact. Marketing strategy is a long-term play that guides a company's overall marketing efforts. Marketing tactics, on the other hand, are short-term actions that a company takes to execute its marketing strategy. They are designed to achieve its immediate results and generate leads or sales. So marketing strategy is focused on understanding the target audience, analyzing the competition, identifying unique selling propositions, and creating a brand identity. Whereas marketing tactics are just quick hits based off of those strategic insights, right? So you should always start with a marketing strategy. Every year you should look at your marketing strategy. How is my strategy doing? Is it getting me where I need to get? Because in order to be successful, your company needs to have a sound marketing strategy in place. The strategy should be based on a deep understanding of your target market, your competition, and your strengths and weaknesses. And once a strategy in place, you can build tactics to support that, right? Like I just mentioned a little bit ago. So there are many different types of marketing tactics that a company use, right? The tactics are there's quite a bit. Advertising, public relations, sales promotion, direct marketing, social media marketing. I can think of just, those are just things that just roll off the top of my head. There's a lot you could do, but fundamentally you need to spend the time, the energy, the resources to really get your strategy in place first. So you have a really good understanding of your target market, your position in that target market. Who are your competitors? What are they doing? How are you going to beat your competitors? What is your own strength and your weaknesses? How can you play to your strengths? How can you minimize your weaknesses? And how can you be positioned to take advantage of your competitors' weaknesses and your competitors' inability to deliver on XYZ? So anyway, marketing strategy is a little bit harder. to kind of come up with and put together. It's doable, but just a little bit harder. And I know you can do it. So what are the benefits of having a marketing strategy? If you're not sold on it and you've listened this far, I'm about, 20 minutes in, if you listen this far and you still don't know or still need to be reminded of the benefits, let me give you some benefits. You can use marketing strategy to increase your brand awareness, right? A marketing strategy can help a good strategy can help a company become more well-known to its target market. A good marketing strategy can generate leads. It can help a company, penetrate because if you have a good understanding of your market, your target audience, you know what they want, you know who they are, you know where they are, you know what kind of stuff they respond to. A lot easier to develop tactics to generate leads. You can also use marketing strategy can also help you build relationships with your customers. A marketing strategy can help a company increase loyalty and repeat business, right? So what are you going to do with that customer once they've walked out your door or once they've, finished their purchase with you online? Marketing strategy can help you stay ahead of the competition, because if you've spent the time developing a strategy, you're looking at trends in the marketplace. You're looking at things that are emerging in the marketplace. You're looking at changes that your competitors might have made in the marketplace and things like that. So you can stay ahead of the competition if you have a good marketing strategy. And then marketing strategy should be geared towards increasing your market share, right? That's one of the main benefits of having a good marketing strategy is it can help you understand where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, and how you can grow your business in market share. Now, let's talk a little bit about, I'm trying to make this podcast as practical as possible. So I want to make this useful for you, and I want to make this, really engaging for you so that you walk away with stuff that you can actually use and do and not just learn just some academic stuff. So let me give you, 7 things that you can do to create a marketing strategy. The first thing you want to do is you want to identify your target market. So write it down. It always helps to write it down. I can't tell you, there's something happens when you write it down, right? You might say, oh, I know my target audience, and all that kind of stuff. But once you start writing it down, you're like, oh, maybe I don't know my target audience. And then run it by a friend or your business partner or your coworker or something like that, So this means you have to understand who your ideal customer is and what their needs are, what their wants are, and all that kind of stuff. So really do a good job of identifying your target market. And if you've already been in business for a while, or you're working for a company that has a long history of servicing clients, just go back, look at your best customers, best clients, find out who they're like, where you got them, what they respond to, and all that kind of stuff. And it's something that you can do relatively easy. But write it down. Then analyze your competition. Sometimes competitive analysis is very interesting to me because we always look for direct competition, but we don't think about the indirect competition, right? For me in my business, digital advertising and marketing, I'm always thinking about the dude in the basement of his mom's basement, right? Building websites. That's also my competition because I can't tell you how many times I've come across businesses. They're like, well, this is great what you're offering, but my niece's son's, girlfriend is a logo artist and she's in college. But so anyway, what I'm trying to say is your competition can be lurking in different places. It really comes down to understanding your market a little bit too, because sometimes substitutes, not just direct competitors, but substitutes are also competition, right? So if you're a dentist, for instance, your competition is people that don't do anything about their teeth because they've chosen no service at all, right? That's also your competition. So anyway, analyze your competition, write it down, and then set some goals for yourself. Once you understand your target market and your competition, develop some goals, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This is the SMART goals, as they say, SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And so once you've set some goals, I love setting goals because it puts it, like the rubber meets the road kind of thing, right? Now you have something that you're shooting for. Okay, so I know this is my target market. This is my competition. I am going to, sell, let's say, 400 braces or 400 widgets in the next, 35 days, and I'm going to do it this way. That's your marketing goal. And then develop a marketing plan. After you have the goal, you know where you're headed, you know where you want to go, then you can develop a marketing plan. This is where the tactics come in. Okay, so you want to sell 300 widgets in the next year. Okay, what do I need to do to sell? What does my plan need to include? It need to include, building awareness, making people, communicating the value proposition, all that kind of stuff that needs to happen. So developing a marketing plan is the fourth step. And then the fifth step is, actually that was the fifth. Fourth is developing your marketing plan. Fifth is implementing your marketing plan. So if your marketing plan includes building a new website, you got to implement that plan. You need to go find a web designer, developer that can, build you a good website, do some SEO, and then execute that plan, right? Then you need to measure all of the stuff that you're doing, whether it's PR, whether it's direct mail, whether it is postcard campaigns, whether it is being a guest on my podcast. So you need to measure it, right? Is it beneficial to you? What did you get out of it? Is this something you want to do again? Maybe you sponsored an event. How'd you do on that? All that kind of stuff. Measure your results. Then you can adjust your marketing as needed. You need to go back and maybe adjust your plan, maybe cross certain things off, maybe add new things. But maybe it also means that you need to go back and review your strategy and see, after a certain amount of data, maybe you need to go back and adjust your strategy. Strategy is not something you write, set, and forget, right? So you can go back and look at that. So anyway, I just talked a little bit about how to create a marketing strategy. Let me summarize that section for you. I talked about 7 things there: identifying your target market, analyzing your competition, setting your marketing goals, developing your marketing plan, implementing your marketing plan, measuring your result, adjusting your marketing plan. So that's how you basically set up a marketing strategy. That's what your marketing strategy should include. Now, just to kind of, before we start to close this episode, just wanted to share with you some great examples. Dollar Shave Club is a good example. I mean, I don't have a lot of details on what they did. All I know is that it's an online subscription-based razor and personal grooming product. And there was a point where I personally was seeing their stuff like crazy on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever I went, I saw their stuff. And it made me stop and think, because I use razors all the time. I was like, wow, that does make sense. I mean, for $1, I can kind of, basically rent these razors or, subscribe to these razors. So they made some really funny videos, which certainly spoke to me as a man. And at that stage in my life, it featured their founder, Michael Dublin. The videos went viral on social media. People grabbed onto it. And I think the company was very, very successful. So I would like to think that that was not all accidental. I think that Michael and his team at Dollar Shave Club really spent time developing a marketing strategy. They really understood their audience. They knew where their audience was, what their audience responded to, humor in this case, and things like that. And they really made it very creative. They hit the right channels, the right places, and they grew their market share and they went after the big boys. So that was a good example. Another one is GoPro. GoPro is also something that, I've seen a lot of their videos. It's really cool what they do. Their strategy is centered around creating compelling content that showcases the capabilities of its cameras, right? Some of the videos I've seen are guys on big mountain bikes going down these hills with the GoPro at the top of their helmets. And it's really cool to watch that, and I've considered buying a GoPro just based off of the marketing I've seen. I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And I've actually seen people, when I go skiing or hiking, I see people with their GoPro cameras and things like that. So I would also like to think that, this is not an accidental success, that they had a strategy for using user-generated content. They had a strategy for how they were going to showcase the thrilling adventures that were captured on GoPros. They had a strategy for social media. They had a strategy for, all these kind of things. So they had a whole overall marketing strategy on who they're going to reach, how they're going to reach them, what they're going to do with them, how they're going to sell the product, how they're going to position the product, and all that kind of stuff. So very solid marketing strategy. The third one is Zappos. I know they were big. I would say about 10, 12 years ago, it was very big on, everybody in marketing talked about Zappos. I know the founder passed away not too long ago. Very sad story if you're not aware. But anyway, a solid company. He built this really amazing company, pioneered this whole, I think they got bought out by Amazon, but they're the ones that really pioneered the whole free shipping and returns. Because until that point, people were like, I don't know if people are going to buy shoes online. It seems like a little bit weird, Oh, by the way, if you're not familiar with Zappos, they're an online shoe and clothing retailer. Their whole focus is customer service. Because, I'm hesitant to buy shoes online just by looking at it. I need to, feel it, touch it, walk around in it. I usually, when I go buy shoes, I'll walk around the entire store a couple of times with the shoe because I want to know how it feels. I mean, it's very important to me. But because of their free shipping and returns, a 365-day return policy, and the focus on creating a personal connection with their customers through their customer service team, they were really able to overcome that, and they became a phenomenon, because of that. So they became very successful, and they were acquired by Amazon in 2009 for $1.2 billion. So he figured out how to sell shoes online. That's amazing. So anyway, I'd like to think in this case also that it was not accidental success. They actually spent a lot of time understanding the audience. It was an audience that really did need to be understood, because until that point, people buying shoes online was a very novel concept. So they executed a marketing strategy. The marketing strategy helped them grow, and boom, guy was a billionaire. That's for a different time. But anyway, so all of these were relatively small companies. When they started out, they developed a really solid marketing strategy. They had a good plan. They executed it. I'm sure they made mistakes. I'm sure some of their tactics bombed. I'm sure not the first video that they put out went viral. I am sure there was a lot of challenges along the way, but they stayed the course. They tweaked their strategy, and they eventually grew their business. So anyway, today we covered the importance of marketing. I started out by talking about that Harvard Business Review article, Unleashing the Power of Marketing, and then talked about the importance of marketing. And then also in this episode, I talked about the difference between marketing strategy and tactics. I defined the terms for you. Hopefully that clarity is helpful. I discussed the benefits of having a marketing strategy. I talked about the basic steps that you need to go through to create a marketing strategy, and then gave you some great examples that could closes this podcast out. So hope this is great information for you. Would love to hear from you if anything in this podcast stuck out, anything that you disagreed with, anything that made you, stand up and go, aha, this is awesome. Would love to hear from you. Send me an email at connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. I also have a new website for this podcast if you haven't been there yet. So go there, corneryourmarketpodcast.com. And with that, I leave you and I say happy marketing. Now that you understand marketing strategy and marketing tactics, go out there and build a winning strategy and grow your business.
If you're a small business owner, a marketing manager at a company, or an entrepreneur, please tune in weekly. You'll gain some insights, tips, tricks, and be a bit more enlightened when it comes to digital marketing. I promise you, if you implement the strategies, tactics, and tools I discuss in this podcast, your business will definitely grow. Please subscribe to this podcast. You can do so by going to corneryourmarketpodcast.com and subscribe with the listening platform of your choice. That URL again is corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Don't forget to like and share this episode with your friends and colleagues. Also, don't forget to leave a review. Those mean a lot to me and can help others that would benefit from the information I share. Finally, I would love to hear from you. I love getting listener emails. So if you have questions, feedback, or any general comment about the topics I discuss on this podcast, feel free to send me an email. I will be sure to share and discuss your feedback on the air if it will benefit our listening audience. You can write to me at connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Just put listener comment in the subject line. That email again is connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. And again, please put listener comment in the subject line. Thanks for listening today. I look forward to being back next week. Until then, be good and do good.